The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 gave us everything. Upsets, resurgences, broken records, and new heroes. Some teams rose from the ashes, some players, new and old, announced themselves to the world. So before we close the chapter on this tournament, let's relive some of those top moments, the unsung heroes, and finally build our team of the tournament.
Starting off, we need to talk about the Chevrons of Zimbabwe, the silent assassin in this tournament. The Zimbabwe team had one of the most memorable runs. They beat Australia and Sri Lanka in the group stage and went undefeated to the Super 8. Not many people predicted that. Actually, almost no one predicted that. But that's exactly why T20 cricket is so exciting. And some of the unsung hero of Zimbabwe was Brian Bennett. The man quietly had one of the most ridiculous T20 World Cup. Got dismissed only twice in the entire tournament, against West Indies and against South Africa, and scoring 292 runs in the process with an astonishing average of 146. Some stylish shots, controlled batting, good temperament. He is one of the players to watch out for in the upcoming years.
And you can't talk about Zimbabwe without talking about Captain Fantastic Sikandar Raza. The man has been ever present in the Zimbabwean setup for more than a decade now, and even at the age of 39 has continued to produce astonishing performances and lead the team from the front, scoring 206 runs throughout the tournament with a massive 73 even in a losing cause against South Africa, and picking up 2 Man of the Match awards throughout the tournament. The man is truly aging like fine wine, moving from the old to the young now, and to another star for the future of Zimbabwean cricket. Blessing Muzarabani, 13 wickets at an economy under 8 in a T20 World Cup. That too for Zimbabwe is truly astonishing. Zimbabwe were not here to just make up the numbers. They truly competed, and Bennett, Raza and Muzarabani were right at the center of it all.
One of the best part of this tournament was seeing associate nations punching above their weight. Italy registered their first win at a T20 World Cup in just their second match. That too, a 10-wicket demolition of Nepal. But that's not the only surprise. Italy also pushed England very hard. They came agonizingly close to pull off an upset against the Sri Lions. It's a very healthy sign for world cricket that the associate nations are improving their standard of cricket.
Players like Krishan Kalugamage, Benjamin Menenti, the Mosca brothers opening the batting for the country. It's a really positive sign for the Azzurri, and we hope the Italian Cricket Federation supports them truly and we get to see more of them in future tournaments.
Another name that shocked everyone was sadly Van Salkwy, the South Africa-born US pacer. For most of the tournament, he sat comfortably as the leading wicket taker, a USA bowler topping the wicket charts in T20 World Cup. And when you realize that USA were knocked out in the first group stage, his performance was one of the biggest surprise of the tournament, and that too at economy rate of 6.8.
The globalization of cricket as a sport is truly real, and we're all here for it. This World Cup saw many records broken, including the one for the youngest centurion at a T20 World Cup. And it wasn't from an established nation. It was opening batsman Yuvraj Samra from the Canadian national team. At just 19 years and 141 days old, he smashed 110 of 65 balls against New Zealand. It may have been in a losing cause, but nonetheless still an astonishing achievement for such a young promising cricketer.
Another record that got broken this tournament was of the highest run scorer in a single edition, which was previously held by Virat Kohli. This time it was broken by Pakistan's very own Saifzada Farhan, who scored 383 runs this tournament with 2 centuries, which is also a record, by the way. Most number of centuries in a single edition. Breaking a Virat Kohli World Cup record is basically a cricket's version of unlocking a legendary achievement. And this record might be untouched for a while.
But for all the records broken and all the new trends set, the craziest match of this World Cup has to be Afghanistan versus South Africa. Held at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, the match ended in a tie, resulting in a super over that also ended in a tie and resulted in a second super over where South Africa prevailed finally. Even at that stage, it did feel like another tie would prevail and we'd get a third super over, which would have been even more ridiculous.
That afternoon, we did get to see a pure T20 chaos at Ahmedabad. And when we are doing a review for the entire T20 World Cup, we do need to talk about the player of the tournament, Sanju Samson. If you have followed Indian cricket, you definitely heard the famous saying, "Justice for Sanju." And this time, justice was delivered.
After being ignored in the early tournament, he finally got his chance in the Super 8s against Zimbabwe when India needed balance in their lineup. The man from God's own country came into the side and didn't just fix the problem, he dominated the tournament. Playing only 5 matches, he lifted the Player of the Tournament award, breaking Virat Kohli's record for most runs by an Indian in a single T20 World Cup, smashing 321 runs in the process with 3 consecutive 80-plus scores against the West Indies, England and New Zealand in the final. From debating whether he deserved a place in the team at all to completely dominating every chance, a proper redemption arc.
And then there was the magician, Jasprit Bumrah, highest wicket taker of the tournament. That too with the economy of 6.21. He came in clutch during that semi-final match against England. When everyone was going to the tour of the stadium, he steadied India's bowling attack. And honestly, we can make an entire video praising Jasprit Bumrah, a man who makes the batters question their career choices.
And last but not the least, you have to talk about Captain Suryakumar Yadav. Leading India for the first time in a tournament like this as defending champions is never easy. And the man didn't have as much of a sparkling tournament as he would have wished for. In fact, his recent form since becoming captain of the side hasn't exactly been the best. But even still, he clutched up against the USA, made sacrifices, dropping himself down the order at times to push others up, sacrificed his own scores for the team's sake, and led from the front. With this win, he now joins the legendary list of Indian World Cup winning captains alongside Kapil Dev, MS Dhoni, and Rohit Sharma.
And now moving on to our team of the tournament.
The ICC did release their version of the team of the tournament, but we feel some changes are necessary to make a more balanced side. So here are our picks for the team of the tournament.
Finn Allen and Sanju Samson, two of the most intimidating openers in this tournament.
No explanation needed as to why Samson was chosen. The man is literally player of the tournament. But Finn Allen we feel like fits better into the side after his consistent performances in the tournament, smashing boundaries in every single match, especially against the bigger sides. And he will forever be remembered in Eden Gardens history for that magnificent century against South Africa in the semi-finals.
And to follow such openers, we have Ishan Kishan at our number 3 spot, consistent throughout the tournament with 18 sixes to his name. At number 4, Simran Hitmaier, just like Ishan Kishan, another destructive left-handed batter. Then at 5 will be India's very own aura farmer, Hardik Pandya. Do we need to explain why he was chosen? I think not.
2 man of the match performances, crucial wickets at times, and runs throughout the tournament. He is a shoe-in for an all-rounder slot in the middle. As is our next pick, England's crisis manager, Will Jacks. Consistent with the bat and the ball, the man rescued England countless times this tournament, most notably against Nepal, Italy, and against New Zealand.
Now, next pick is kind of debatable because we are going for Mitchell Santner, who is also the captain of our side. And he was chosen because World Cup winning captain Surya didn't have much impact with the bat. And we are going with Finn Allen and Sanju Samson as our opener. So he can't fit in Aiden Markram. So we felt like Mitchell Santner will be the perfect candidate for captain in our side. He has been consistent with the bat and with the ball, an outstanding fielder, led New Zealand to their second consecutive white ball final, and he was the captain in last year's Champions Trophy also. So I think he is an ideal pick for this version of the team of the tournament.
Moving on to the out-and-out bowlers, I don't think there's going to be much debate here. Leading wicket taker Jasprit Bumrah, the best bowler in the world, joined alongside by Zimbabwe's Blessing Muzrabani, the man that led the wicket-taking charts for so long, Shadley Van Schalkwyk, and England's Adil Rashid. The spinners didn't really have that great of a time in this entire tournament. They were picked apart most of the time, especially in India. But even then, playing on such batting-friendly conditions, Adil Rashid, at an economy of just about 8, picked 13 wickets and was one of the key reasons why England made it all the way to the semi-finals.
And our 12th man will be Saibzada Farhan. It was really hard to keep him out of the playing 11 of the team of the tournament, but he deserves to be in this squad at least.
And just like that, this edition of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup comes to an end. A tournament with unforgettable performances and a third T20 World Cup victory for India. But the cricketing calendar never stops. And next up is the Indian Premier League, where the rivalries return, the stadiums get louder, and the cricket never stops. We'll see you with further coverage of the IPL soon. But until then, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Glitch Lab signing out.